What's up, guys? Mike here with the RWO PDR podcast, the real world order of PDR. We've got a Slayer type episode tonight, episode 61. But first, let me introduce my co host. He created DentMatePro.com. He finished third in the 2020 Tag Team Olympics at MTE. He owns Southern Indiana Dent in Southern Indiana. All right, enough. You guys know I'm talking about myself. I'm just kidding. Jim couldn't make it tonight, and Hudson said he couldn't make it a week ago. So guess what, Jim? We'll start hashtag Jim sucks for not being on the show tonight. Sorry, Jim. I love you, buddy, but you suck tonight. I told him no biggie, man. But anyways, I'm going to get right into the show. I got a great guest on tonight. He has created some great tools for our industry, and I met this guy at MTE. Actually, I met him before that. But anyways, let's bring him on. Let's quit wasting time, and I'll bring in none other than Mr. Matt Boyette. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, sir? How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Welcome to the RWO PDR podcast.
Thank you. It feels good. Feels good to be here finally on your show. I was hoping to connect with Jim. Me and him haven't connected yet, but
well, you got Jim tonight. You got stuck with me tonight. It's all good. Jim said he apologized, man. He said he wanted to come on. He wanted to know if we would do it tomorrow night, but it's just schedules, and I don't want to promise somebody. So
sure.
No big deal, man. No big deal. So, but hey guys, if you want to throw some comments up there, I think you need to hit the StreamYard button or click on the comment or whatever it is. Make sure you click that so we can see who it is. So, but whoever Facebook user is, what's up? Anyways, so Matt, nice to meet you. I mean, we've met before. We've met at MTE and a couple other events. But anyways, let's talk about your tools tonight. First, I'll tell you what, let's start the show out. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you got going on in Jacksonville.
Sure. Yeah. So I am a PDR tech. I've been doing dents since '98. I started with a local company here in Jacksonville and apprenticed, trained through those guys for 2 years. And then right about that time is when Dent Wizard started buying back their franchises, which was 2000. And they bought the company I work for, and I became a Dent Wizard employee. And I worked for Dent Wizard for 20 years. Before I quit them and started my own thing. During that time with Dent Wizard, I did route for most of that, and then I switched over to Hail and did Hail full time for the last 8 years of that 20 with Dent Wizard. And then after I decided to quit and open my own business, and now I have a retail facility here. I have 2 retail facilities actually.
Okay.
Not because I need them necessarily, because I'm not busy, but it was a little bit of strategy. But yeah, I have 2 retail shops here, one in Jacksonville, one in St. Augustine.
Awesome, man. Oh,
yeah.
I love St. Augustine. I've been there at least 4 times. Love that place. Jacksonville's cool too. So
St. Augustine, or the county of St. Johns County, which St. Augustine is in, it's one of the fastest growing, wealthiest counties in Florida. And you wouldn't suspect that, you got Miami and Fort Lauderdale, Naples, and all that, but that county, St. Johns County, is just blowing up. And so I have a shop right in the middle of that, and every day they're just tearing down trees and putting up something, and it is just exploding right now. So we are happy to call that our home down there.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah,
I love that. The town there. I like Jacksonville too. I haven't spent a lot of time in Jacksonville, but man, I love St. Augustine. My friend has a condo down there. A guy I own DentMate with. He's my partner with DentMate, and he owns a condo down there. So we've been there several times and checked out the town, and such history there. It's so cool. So
it's the oldest city in the U.S.
It is. I've walked down the oldest road in the U.S. It's there's like some restaurants, but it's like a cobblestone road you go down.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, man. So
yeah, there's so much history down there, man. It's crazy. Cool to visit. A lot of nostalgia down there. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Matt, you got a message from Jim Mitchell. Hey, fellas. Sorry, I couldn't make it tonight, but I wish I could have. It's
not a problem.
Forgive you. We'll forgive you, Jim.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Next time.
Problem, Jim. I'm just messing with him. That's my dude, man. But anyways, back to you, Matt. So how's running Route 2 retail shops, man? Is that
well, so it's interesting kind of how it played out. I can go into a little bit. I won't go into some of the strategy because I have competitors here, but I opened a shop. So one of my good friends had a shop up here in Jacksonville. And when I opened my first shop, I did not want to crowd his space. So I opened my shop in St. Johns County. I live in Jacksonville, but I didn't want to be close to him just out of a courtesy. So opened a shop down there. And he went through some rough times with his spouse, and they got divorced and kind of dissolved the business. And right after that, he shut his shop down. And so he had been in that area for 10 plus years with a shop. And so I was like, man, I can't sleep on that. I got to get another shop there. And so I didn't take over his shop, but I took over the area where his shop was just to absorb that clientele. And obviously it helps with my Google. So, when you Google me now, I have a large footprint of area that I service. And so what I do now is all scheduling, and we just schedule between the shops. So one day I'm at one shop, the next day I'm at the other shop. So I pack up my tools. I have generic tools that stay at the shop, the bigger stuff, hood stands and the glue pulling systems and all that stays there. But all my specific stuff comes with me in my van, and I just bounce around. It's a little bit of logistics play, but right now it's good. It's necessary. I'm managing it. It's awesome. Don't want to change it at the moment.
Right. I don't blame you, man. That's cool. So back to, and I'm sorry, I was clicking on banners and stuff. So how long were you with Dent Wizard, you said?
I was with them for 20 years.
20 years. Jeez, man. That's awesome.
It was a personal goal of mine to hit that 20-year mark.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. After I hit 15 is when that 20-year, I was like, well, I ain't leaving.
What year did you start, if you don't mind me asking?
98.
98. Okay. Hey, you're older. Yep. You've been this longer than me, man. I started 01. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's still, man, that's not chump change right there. That's old.
Right, man. Right. Yeah. But so you did mobile with them for 20 years, correct? And you did some hail too, right?
Yep. So I did hail for the last 8 of that, 2012 to 2019. End of 19 was when I did hail. And a little bit of strategy there if you're trying to get out of your contract for Dent Wizard. Chase hail the last 2 years, and it will help you get out of your non-compete. Because you didn't work in that town for 2 years. So
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what cities have you did? What you just go all over? Did you go to Oklahoma City or Texas or?
Yeah. I never worked in Oklahoma. Worked all over Texas. Worked all over Colorado, Montana. Did a little bit in Canada, Calgary, Quebec. Did a lot of time in Australia over there.
Oh,
Sydney,
okay.
Yeah. Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne.
Yeah.
And those were so valuable, man, for building who I am as a technician and my experience and well-roundedness. I mean, that's just I've always tried to surround myself around techs who are better than me, who are as good or better than me. You just put yourself in that ring, and man, it's such an awesome experience to get in those environments and have to push yourself and learn and grow. It's awesome.
Yeah. Who's one of your favorite guys that you worked with in chasing hail?
Well, one of the favorite guys that I actually worked with, as far as like partnered with, was Tim Beach.
Beach.
Yeah. His brother is Brad Beach, and he was a corporate trainer for Dent Wizard forever. And Tim was the tool guy. Tim ran the tool room. But then he got out of the tool room and then was a technician, and he is just a monster, man. Me and him work so good together. He hardly doesn't talk. He moves really slow, but he's super fast. It's really interesting to watch. he's not erratic. He's just, everything he does is really intentional, and you blink and the car's done. I mean, he's just a monster of a technician, and really great guy. So he was one of the most interesting guys I worked with, as far as partnered up with. And then I worked with some really cool people over in Australia. That's just a buffet of technicians. I mean, you got guys from the Netherlands and UK and Korea and America and all over, man. And there was a couple Korean guys there that really gave me a good perspective, a different perspective. I'll tell you real quick, I'd be there and I'd get stuck on something, or you have this car that pulls in your bay and it's just, you're like, oh man, or you got this one spot on the rail you're not sure about. And I'd go get
We've all been there.
I'd go get one of those guys and bring him over and say, hey man, what do you think? And he's like, just fix it. And I'm like, that's it.
Just fix it.
Just fix it. And he turn around and walk away. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, okay, just fix it, and so just simple little things like that, mindset stuff that really like pushes you to the next level technician. And that to me is what I've really learned the last few years, is mindset will take you places that you don't know that you can go. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Well, I tell guys, like, I'll interject a little bit on that, but so like when I've been doing dents for a long time, 2001, and like I kind of not mastered, but I got better at bigger dents and door dings and stuff. And my first experience of going on the road, I got a deal to go to Iowa for 5 weeks, and we're talking back in the day, I'd plug in lights, like we're talking old school, gun case with tools in it, the A1 stuff from back then, Dentcraft stuff from back then, Ultra stuff. And I showed up to a Hale gig, man, and guys had like battery powered, ultra lights at the time. Those were the big thing then. And just I was like a fish out of water, man. I was good at fixing Hale, but I wasn't as efficient as these guys were. These guys could just kill Hale dents, man. And I'm over there like, because I came plugged right out of a route to go to a hailstorm. So, but I learned a ton on that storm. I learned so much from other technicians and met a lot of good guys that I'm still really good friends with to this day. So,
yeah, the hail definitely, in my opinion, makes you become more efficient. Like that's the main focus. I mean, at some point, the damage becomes the damage. You're either going to fix it or you're going to replace it. Whatever. So the damage you kind of get used to, but then it turns into an efficiency game, and it's all about efficiency. And I learned that probably like year 3 doing hail, because the first time I was just overwhelmed by the damage or the number of dents or the cars or whatever it is, and then at some point you're used to it, and it was like, all right, I got to become more efficient. And then it just became this game of this pursuit of, I would actually, a really cool trick that I would do, and some of you guys could even do it, is beginning of the season, the first job, I would put a piece of identifying tape on my tools. And if I didn't use it, or if I used it, then I would pull the tape off. And so if I didn't use it, then I obviously had to still have tape on it. And so just become this like decluttering of my tool cart and getting rid of stuff that I just wasn't using.
That's a great idea. I've never thought about doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it'll show you what you don't use,
Yeah.
But then when I started traveling to Australia, I had to fly with all my stuff, right? And so I can't take everything. You can't take a TDN cart loaded down with the whole catalog.
Yeah.
And so you really have to start being a little bit more selective and say, okay, multi-use stuff. Very intentional tools and things. You have a condensed kit that literally I had to put in one. I had one gun case that had my light in it as well as my tools, and then a small other, essentially not a gun case, but another Pelican case that would house some of the smaller accessory stuff. And that was everything I took to go to Australia. And I'd worked there for 4 months and realized, okay, I just worked for 4 months with a really condensed toolkit if I can do that for 4 months in a foreign country, then I can get by with a lot less here in the States for the rest of the year. You know, I don't
That's
need
true.
all these stuff.
Yeah.
And so it really helped streamline my stuff. But that's when I really started getting into the tool building too, because I needed to have multi-use tools. That's kind of what got the ball rolling for me, is thinking of things that I could take on the road with me in a condensed version and that I could get different uses out of, and more strategic stuff. So that's kind of got me going to the tool making side of things.
Right, right. Well, speaking of that, we can kind of go into that too if you want.
Sure.
So, man, I'll tell you what. I think I met you for the first time at Matt Moore's kind of his tech meetup he had a few years ago,
Yes.
and I was still kind of new to the Dent Slayer stuff. I was kind of. Sometimes I'm out of the loop on things sometimes,
Yeah.
and I was talking with some guys, and they said, you need to come over and check out this pack out cart they got, this top he's made. And you were, and I don't hold me to this, but I think you were one of the first people to come out with that top. I
As
think.
far as I know, I was the first. As far
Yeah,
as that, I know.
I do believe, because that was the first time I've ever seen anything like that. And I don't personally have a pack out cart, but I know I'm probably going to get one after I saw that. I was like, wow, that is so cool, man. And yeah, it was that when I first saw that for the first time. And then I saw some of the rods you guys were making. Y'all have some amazing rods, man. And just some tools that are out of the box, things that you've thought of, and really, really impressive, man.
Thank you. Thank you. John and Maria, man, they've been so good. I used to, there was a short window of time I'd made stuff for Pro PDR Solutions as well, back when Bill owned it. I had a tool cart that I made with him. I made a leverage, which is the tool stool. I had a version of that through Pro PDR. And I started to make my Dent Slayer with Pro PDR. I sent it to Bill, the prototype, but that was right in the transition when he sold it. And so luckily I got it back because it was the only one I had. But so then my tool brand kind of died off when the new owners took over that. And so some of it went stagnant for a little bit until I got connected with John and Maria. And it was interesting how that worked. I just sent them a tool, one of my original Dent Slayer, which I don't have here.
Yeah.
I sent it to them just to duplicate, because I only had one and I didn't have another. I said, hey, can you just make me another version of this? I just want, in case I lose this one. And sent it to them. And John called me back and he's like, hey, Matt, this is John. Man, this is a really interesting tool. Never seen nothing like it. Would you be interested in letting us make it and sell it? And I was like, heck yeah. While we're at it, I got a few other things if you're interested. And so that started the tool line with them. And they've just been a dream to work with from my perspective. They've just been awesome. And
good people, man. Good people. Yep.
Yes. But so this is a version of the original Dent Slayer. So this is the short one, but it was basically just the same profile. And
it's got a hell of a kick on it. I like that.
Yes. And this is the new ratchet handle that we came out with this year.
That is a thing of beauty. Look at that.
Yes.
I like that, man. It's good looking.
And it's got an extension you can put on it. And it's obviously fixed to the tool, meaning it's the screw style. You got to take that off. It's not like the Gorilla Grip or whatever. But man, it's a really cool tool handle. This is the short one.
Okay.
And we just released this year at MTE. Nickel plated. It's pretty cool. But this thing, man, the tops of doors is sick. And lots of drive. But yeah, I have 4 other versions of this length.
Okay.
And some of them are bendable. This one's not bendable. It's too short.
That's a blade style. That's kind of a blade style at the end, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool, man.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good looking tool, man.
Super good tool. Like I said, we just came out with those handles this year.
One of our listeners is saying the short one is money, Matt. I believe that.
I wish we could know who it was, right?
I know, right? Say your name. I'll tell you why. Just to go into that real quick. A lot of times when that happens, we're on like 6 different channels, so they're probably on one of them that's not the primary one. So anyway, but yeah, anyways, back to your tools. So let me talk about one real quick, Matt, for you.
Yeah.
So when I met you at MTE, when I went to MTE, I was walking around. Of course, I have a booth, so I don't have a lot of time to shop. And one thing, I always had a couple of tools in mind that I wanted to check out, and so I went over to A1, and my friend Tom Poland, we said, "Man, come on over here. I'm gonna show you something." And so oh, sorry, get my mic. So I saw these online, to be honest with you, on Facebook, and I had no idea what this was when I first saw it. I said, "What in the world is this?" And I said, "That is a crazy look." Of course, I'm a dent guy, so I get the idea. But I was just like, "Man, where in the world would I use that?" I started thinking in my head. Anyways, when I went to MTE and I met you, you had a demonstration door there, and you actually showed me what your purpose was with this. And so, guys, if you're this tool here, this is the Rat Rod from Dent Slayer. And guys, this is the smaller version. You know what size? I don't know.
That's 1/4 inch. I have a 5/16 as well.
Okay, 1/4 inch, 5/16. I have both of them actually. So I did a repair. Of course, when you buy a tool, a specialty tool, it takes a few days before you actually use the tool. So I couldn't wait to use it. I got it in the mail. Well, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So MTE, I talked to Matt. Matt demonstrated this tool on a door that they had off, and he showed me. And when you pull the molding off the bottom of a door, and I'm sure there's other uses, but you can actually get this inside the hole, and then you wrap it in, just kind of snake it around, and then all of a sudden now you're pushing like this, and it kind of gives a soft tip, like it's more of a soft tip. So I had a Ford Edge come in on Monday, and it came in, and it had the perfect 2 dents. Actually, it was 2 dents I fixed. Perfect 2 dents on this door. So I pulled the molding off, and dude, I'm telling you, man, this thing. I knew when I saw it actually when I talked to you, I said, I'm getting this, and this thing did a beautiful job on it, man. It came out great. So
the concept of that tool came from the quarter panels. Well, the quarter panels you can pull off, and the quarter panel specifically in front of the gas door, where you can't come through the taillight effectively with a soft tip. And so I do some wholesale, and I was just frustrated at one of my dealers that all I was doing was getting the Dentcraft side panel hook set and going in those holes, and you got a dent in the body line, and it's just going to booger that thing all up. And I'm like, man, I gotta have something that's better. I said, I wish I could push with a heel of a tool right there. And so then I said, okay, well, I just got to bend it so that it gets the heel there. So I literally went to my neighbor at one of my shops, who's a machinist welder, and I cut stuff and Frankensteined it up and made a prototype. And I'm like, that's it. Sent it to A1. A1 gave me back a working prototype, probably about 6 variations, and just ran them. And that thing is awesome.
Oh man, it slid right in that hole. I mean, I got it to go in. I mean, did it bend the hole a little bit? Yeah, because I'm aggressive, and I use my hole straightener, and barely bent it, not enough to make a difference. And I used my hole straightener, it looked great, man. So, but I was able to work the body line, got a little bit of damage. And of course, I did some glue pulling to start out with, and then I got in there and just worked this dent. I fixed the whole dent with this thing, so it was kind of like the Ford Edges. They got the body line and it's kind of a little bit curved, and then the top. And yeah, it came out great, man. I really love this tool. I haven't had a chance to use the big one yet, but I will. And I did. And now that you mentioned the quarter panel, I did fix a quarter panel with one of those. I did.
Yeah.
Yep. I forgot that actually wasn't the first vehicle I fixed with that tool. So.
And yeah, sometimes you gotta adjust that hole to get it in a little bit, and you will potentially manipulate the hole a little bit. Oh well, I mean, like that.
I mean, that's any tool.
That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah. Right. I mean, there ain't no getting around. That's why they make hole straighteners.
That's why they make hole straighteners. And yeah, I mean, it's fair. As long as we're not drilling, right? It's fair.
Yeah, it's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm very impressed with it, man. I haven't got to use the big one yet, but I will, I'm sure. So
it's just got a little bit more balls to it. It's a little bit more stiffness.
Well, the hold was too small. That's the only reason I didn't use it on that dent. So I just used what fit. So, and it worked fine. So,
and those are bendable too. Like in the shaft, you can bend those. And I wouldn't bend it towards the end, but definitely in the shaft, you can adjust it to kind of get to kiss that body line. Just to kind of get down there to it.
Cool. Go ahead. I'll let you. If you got any more goodies to show us.
I do. So I'll go through some of the old classics that we didn't because we just had a tool release Monday. And so, but this is one that we did at MTE. This is the King Slayer.
Oh, geez, look at that thing.
Yep. And this is 9/16.
That is girthy.
It is girthy.
Damn, it's got a little screw on tip.
It's
Uh-oh.
9/16. It is very stiff. And I made this for fenders and quarters. I mean, wherever you want. But
Yeah.
I really had Challenger fenders in mind when I made it because that metal is so strong on those fenders. And then from the wheel, from the top of the tire to the top of that fender, you have a long distance. And a lot of stuff was just bending on me or just wasn't generating the leverage that I needed.
Mhm.
And I said, man, I need a husky tool that's going to go in there and move some high strength steel.
That sucker's thick, man.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this is the one. This is the King Slayer. And then right after that, we came out with the King Slayer Severed, which is basically the double bend cut off of the King Slayer.
Look at that.
So it's a
oh wow. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's got the end there. Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. And I have 2 links of that. I forget what they are offhand, but one's a little shorter and one's longer. And this with that tip that you were just showing me is
this one.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, guys, the other thing that I bought at MTE, this thing, I don't like saying game changer, but man, this thing's been awesome to use. You see that okay?
So that there by his finger is just the threads. So when you thread that tip into this tool, the only thing that sticks out is the R4.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
There's no other part of that tip that sticks out. So whatever the height of the R4 is the height of the tool. So anytime you have a lot of pressure on a tool, the longer this toe is here, the more you're going to have to manage that tool from flopping on you, right? When you put it underneath a load. And so the idea is just to get that tip really down far so you don't have to manage this as much. And then if you need it higher, then you just put an extension on it. But most tips come what is it, about an inch and a quarter long. There's not a whole lot of low profile stuff. And so we made that tip, we made this tool, everything was designed to get really kind of low profile. I do a lot of like off dolly style stuff where I'll put a load on a rod and kind of hold it and then do some hammer work. Okay. And I don't have to manage it like what I'm talking about. I can just put pressure on it and do hammer work around it, and I'm not trying to manage that tool, keeping it upright. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's kind of how I thought of those.
Well, I basically because I don't have that rod, but basically when I got this, it just fits in the holes better. You know, it's not all, you know, I mean, I got some R4 tips that fit, but like it fits in the holes better. You know, like I don't know. That's why I like it. But I never thought about it being low profile on that rod. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. I have a nylon tip that we did too. That's the same low profile as that. And the problem with the R4s is if you're heating a dent through the repair, you know, you got a heat gun on it. That heat will just melt that R4.
Yeah, it will.
You'll be pushing and you'll push right through that R4, and then
they're done that.
Destroy the dent. So the nylon solves that. You know, it's not as soft as a R4, but it is a soft push, and it's not going to melt under the heat gun.
Right. I should have and Tom showed me that, and I should have picked it up. I didn't get that one, but I got the tip I showed. So yeah. Oh, you got a question? Adam Jones wants to know: do you have any plans of shaving down the rat rods?
So there is another tool that is coming out. So I just want to warn some of y'all. I told John and Maria I'm going to have a whole section this year at MTE. I'm coming out swinging.
That's awesome, dude.
I've got literally John has a list of about 8 or 9 things that are in the works to be built.
Hell yeah, man.
Before MTE. And I've got, I think, some really, really good ideas. So there is something out there that I think is what Adam is talking about, that I have prototypes of, but they're not correct.
Yeah.
that we're working through. That may be what he's talking about.
Okay.
But stay tuned.
Yeah, man.
Stay tuned for that.
Absolutely. That's awesome, man. You got that many tools coming out. My buddy Nick Stark. What up, Nick Stark? He says the nylon tip is money as well. But
yes,
he says, but I don't know what he
but
said.
You know what comes after but?
I know he didn't say anything after that. So maybe he didn't mean to spell that, but yeah, that's I saw that, and that I should have picked that up. I'll pick that up next time. So,
sorry, I had a pop up here. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. He said no but LOL. So Nick, you're off the hook. He loves the nylon tip.
Oh, nice.
I'll put back to. And we can get these tools. Just a shout out to A1 Tool at pdrtool.com. So,
yep, you just click on the Dent Slayer, and it brings drop down all.
Their app is so nice, man. Their app is really easy to use. When I ordered this Dent Slayer stuff and Reaper stuff, shout out to John Badine. Yeah, man, it's so easy to use. So, guys, if you check it out, man, A1. We're not done talking about tools, but check out pdrtool.com, guys. So.
Yeah, Vidine's like my tutor. I call him anytime I have a tool builder question. He's what I want to be when I grow up, as far as a tool maker goes.
I was gonna say I don't know about about that, but a tool maker, yeah, he's
tools,
a great tool maker.
Related. He's done so well for himself, man. Mm-hmm. And if you look at his story and just kind of how he got started making tools and to what he's done now, I mean, he's just crushing it. And so, like I said, I call him anytime I have questions about certain things, and we'll kind of bounce some ideas off each other. But he's been very influential to me. So shout out to him. He's helped me out, and he's a good dude.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say enough about John, man. I actually went to his house in December. I actually went and hung out with him at his house, and just the things he showed me that he's got all kinds of, his mind just is constantly working, man, and it's so cool. Listen to him talk about tools and how to improve things, and we drank a couple of drinks. You know how it is.
There you
go. In Minnesota, eh? But let's see, Nick Stark, Nick again. A1 is killing it with Matt's tools and Reaper stuff. Two amazing companies. Well, thank you, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Super cool.
But I got to meet him this year. Very cool dude.
Yeah, me too. We
sat down for a few minutes.
Yeah. Did you notice he looks a little bit like Ryan Gosling?
You know
who that is?
Okay, yeah, a little darker. I mean, a little darker hair, but
some females told me that. They said he looks like Ryan Gosling, and I kind of looked at him. I was like, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah, but anyway, eating that up right now.
Oh yeah. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. We got another question. What's up, guys? Hey, what's up, Brandon Schmitz? What's going on, brother? Ginger Bros in the house. What's up? What's up?
Yes, sir. Hello, Brandon.
Have you been on their show yet?
Yeah. I've been on once, maybe twice.
Oh, cool, cool. Yep. I haven't got an invite yet. I'm just needling them right now.
Oh dang!
We did a dual podcast at Matt's shop the first time I met you. So yeah, we were just joking with them. What's up, Christopher Allen? What's going on, brothers? Do you have any more tools you want to talk about, man?
Yes, anything else?
Do. Let's keep going. I'm having a good time here.
So keeping it back with the progression here. So you've seen the Bigfoot adapters, right?
Is that for?
This is for the Porta Power.
Okay, for.
So this is an adapter for the Porta Power. So this will hook on to your Porta Power. I didn't bring it in here because that thing's a big clunky thing, but hooks onto your Porta Power, and then you have it hooks into the metal medic tabs.
Oh, okay, cool, man. Yeah,
see that here, but it's just a male and a female.
Yeah,
and it's not doing anything special other than it's securing the Porta Power to the panel, so you can work the dent without the Porta Power slipping out.
Yeah,
I was having problems with that, and there's one of my videos on my Instagram where you can see I'm trying to hold the Porta Power down as I crank it, as I push the dent. I'm just trying to keep that Porta Power in because it's just wanting to shoot out. And so I literally
if you guys don't know what Matt's talking about, he's talking about lateral tension. It's kind of it's kind of a hot thing coming out. I mean, it's an old thing, but it's a hot thing right now. I actually used some today on a job. I've been using Kiko. I just got their but that rod, and I'm just started kind of doing that. I'd been, for all these years I've been doing dents, I never really messed with lateral tension, but yeah, that Porta Power thing is mean. I've seen that, the Metal Medic.
Well, the screw style is one style, right? But both of those systems are designed to hand tighten only. So you're only going to get so much out of that. And maybe that's necessary. I don't know. But the Porta Power is just unlimited power, as far as for PDR goes.
Yeah.
And so I have that. I haven't bought the other systems yet, not for any other reason other than this has been sufficient for me. It's definitely cumbersome and clunky and a lot, heavy, and it's not as quick as the other systems, but when it's hooked up, it just does whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I can totally see that
if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to Ken Garrison too, man. He's making some cool shit, man. So
Ken's been awesome. Man. And so this was the tab that we had at MTE. It's just a flat, was a 2x6 tab. But then recently, we've worked with Ken and we came out with this guy, which is a bodyline tab.
Yep.
And just allows the same system to go on a body line.
Kind of stretch it out, get it nice and on that line.
Just right on that line. Yep. Yeah. And then this is the other tab that works with that. Yeah. And it's basically, this is your glue surface. I can't really tell in here, but
is it kind of textured? Is it textured?
It's not textured, but there's a lip here.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
And it's made to flex. So this part will flex, and it's perfectly flat. So today I was using it when you have a panel with an arc to it, where if you put something like this on the arced panel and you put tension underneath that, it's going to want to pull your tabs off.
Yeah.
Before it opens the dent. So this helps that because you'll get the flex in the tab before it wants to pull the glue off. So lots of new tabs coming out to work with the same Bigfoot boot adapter.
That is cool. That's machined really well. It's pretty, man. So
Yep. The new ones now are anodized gold.
Okay.
And they're available at pdrtool.com, or Metal Medic has his version of them. Same thing, but it's got Metal Medic on it. These things, man, shameless plug here, but I use these almost every day. I mean, that's what I'm doing now is this lateral tension. And if I have to think, should I use the tension here? I just put it on.
Yeah.
And it just helps. It just helps so much. But if you don't have a system, I mean, I'm not just saying this system, get a system and start using it. It'll help you in those repairs so much better. The idea is you're going to have less tool marks in the beginning because you're not going to have to push as hard.
Yeah.
And it's just going to open that up and relax everything. And so you're going to have less damaging pushes in the beginning. So these have been instrumental for me lately. Like I said, I use them 3 to 4 times a week, if not every day. I'm opening something up with that Porta Power.
Right. That's. I mean, like I said, I'm kind of new to it, so I got the Kiko set. I just ordered that. I'm probably gonna have everything for said and done. But I used it on a aluminum door that I worked on, an F-150. I had a real challenging door that I fixed a couple weeks ago, and it worked great, man. I could definitely tell a difference when I put it on. I mean, it, as far as beating crowns down, just getting it, pushing all that, man, it did work. And I did it today on a quarter panel I worked on today too. I actually used that tension on that and worked great, man. I could definitely tell a difference. Yeah.
Yeah. So something that released Monday.
Okay.
We had 2 products. One was this knockdown. So this is, I had them at MTE.
Okay.
So we've had a couple of problems with them at the ones at MTE. This is basically a tattoo machine grip.
Oh.
And it's on a stainless rod.
Yeah.
And they have these little set screws that tighten it down on there. But the amount of abuse these things take, these set screws just were not holding. And so now they're TIG welded on. A1 makes these now. You can get them. I think it's $50 from A1. But they're all TIG welded on. So to give you an idea here, this is my VIP one with just a little Dent Craft tip here.
Yep.
This is 1.25 ounces. This is 7.5 ounces.
Oh,
So
wow, man.
It's very heavy.
Yeah.
And so when you're doing this tension stuff and you have these large, huge buckles and high spots and you're trying to lay them down, when you start hitting with this, I mean, good luck. You know,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
need something with a little bit more mass, and you can put a really large, soft tip on here, and you hit it, and the weight of it is going to help transfer through into that panel. And so it's just a heavy, it's very heavy, solid tip where all that momentum just transfers right through into that panel. The concept is we're doing these smashes, right? We went from doing paintless dent removal to paintless smash repair. And we're still using some of the paintless dent removal tools.
Yeah.
And that's fine, right? But at some point, as our repairs are changing, the evolution of our tools should change too. And so just coming up with stuff tools that are going to match the damage that we're doing, really.
Yeah.
You know, hitting it with this 1.25 or this 1.25 ounce VIP to start it. Like, I finished my dents with this.
Yeah,
this is
absolutely.
my finishing. But when you're not gonna do anything with crowns with that style knockdown. You need something with some mass that's gonna move some.
And it's got weight. Like you said, the weight's behind it too, and it'll help drive it down a little bit more for your crown work. Yeah.
So 7.5 ounces on this with no tip. So
jeez.
Yeah.
That's a beast.
It is a beast. It is a beast. So we released that Monday, and the other thing we released Monday was the rat tail.
Yeah. I saw those at MTE, and I tried to buy them from you. You said it was a prototype.
Well, they were, and so it's basically a whale tail with a rat tail. That's kind of how we came up with the play on words there. But so what the concept behind this is you're going to go into a brace. I don't know if I can demonstrate this.
Okay.
Where maybe the dent is just outside of that brace, just on the edge. With a normal tool, you would start turning your tool sideways to try to hang on to the brace and also deal with the dent. And you start getting twisty with the whale tail or whatever. This one, it'll hook onto that brace, but the tool will work outside of the brace. As long as this tip can hang on to the brace, the whale tail will function.
Yep.
So it allows you to not have to, again, turn your tool sideways to hang onto the brace. You can work directly. Where that works, where you might not think it is as essential, is down a door. So if you're coming down a door and that's happening, you can't really turn your tool sideways to get that. So that's where
that's happened to me. I couldn't tell you how many times, man. Like, you're just right there, and you're like, man, yeah, I can see where that would help, man.
And then you maybe switch to a door tool to get it, and you're twisting the door tool, trying to jam it down there, and then you're back to a whale tail. And the other application for it is in a roof, working hail from the back hatch, and you get the same thing where you're trying to twist this thing and get it to grab. So we came out with these. So we have 1.25 wide and 2-inch wide.
Okay, I was gonna ask what sizes. Yeah.
And we have from 6-inch all the way to 48-inch.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we came out with 2 sets, and they released Monday. They are bendable in the shaft there, as you can see, but they are hardened, and they're laser cut, so that should not come off. It's not welded on. That's part of the shaft.
Okay.
So these are the rat tails. So these, man, when I showed this at MTE, so it's funny, John just brought it for me to see it. It was just a prototype we were working on, and he just brought it for me to see. But somehow they ended up with tags on them for sale on the rack. They weren't ready yet. Like this one's the prototype. It's not even finished, like sharpened. And so I kind of pulled them off, and I was kind of hiding them. And then people started seeing them. They're like, what is that? What is that? And so I'm like, I told John, I'm like, hey, we either need to not show anybody or we need to show everybody. Like that's that's what we're
Yeah.
doing here. And so I just started showing everybody, and I got all kind of feedback.
Yeah.
Everybody loved them. I had a
As
dummy
soon
hood
as I
there.
saw it, I said I knew exactly what it was. I said, "Whoa, dude, that's we need that."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the only place that I would think that you wouldn't be able to use this above a normal whale tail would
Mhm.
just be like at the edge of a panel
Yeah.
where that may prohibit you. Other than that, it'll still function like a normal whale tail. And just to clarify, you're not doing any repair work with this part. Like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is only a leverage point. All your
Mhm.
repair work is still here. That's just to hold on to that brace a little bit longer.
Mhm. So
So
the for the audio, because this goes out on audio on Monday.
mhm.
Basically, it's a whale tail, and it has a kind of a point in the middle of it that sticks out about an inch. Is that what you said? And
Yes.
yeah, about an inch, and you basically use that as leverage. So if you haven't seen it, check it out on Facebook or go to pdrtools.com, pdrtool.com,
Yep.
A1, and check it out. They're for sale now. So
Yep. So these drop Monday, and we've had a good response so far. And these should be a hit, man. These should be a hit.
I guarantee there will be. Yeah, for sure. Let me see. We got some comments going on. Let's see. Joshua Dragos.
Yep.
Matt Boyette, I'm going to try and give you a call tomorrow. Okay. I know Mr. Dragos. What's up, dog? And let's see. The rat
I'll
tail's a
look for your
great
call,
idea.
buddy.
Nick Stark. I think Nick Stark's like the only guy watching with Joshua and Adam. But anyways, yep. So yeah, that's a great idea for a tool, man. I can't wait to get a set of those, man. Are they going to sell them in a set or individually, you think?
Yeah. They have sets. I don't know what the prices are on the two sets. One's $389 and one's $429 or something like that. I don't know offhand exactly, but you get in the set, you get from 6 all the way to 48. I think there's five or six
man.
tools in each set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. Well, you got anything else you want to show? We're going to get to our funnest part of the show. That's what Jim says.
I do, and it's not available yet. I'm still working on it. But I peeped it the other day on my Instagram, and it's let me see here.
Yeah, you can see it good. Wow, look at that.
So it is a Dent Slayer body hammer.
Okay.
So like I said, we're doing these bigger, large style collision repairs, and sometimes you need a bigger hammer, right? And guys are retrofitting hammers. They'll get body hammers and they'll cut the spike off of them because it's hard to buy these like this. So Snap-on makes one. I have a Snap-on version here.
Okay.
But they're really hard to get.
I've never seen that on a Snap-on.
They've been back ordered. If you go on the Snap-on truck, Snap-on guys don't know about them. They can't find them. I got this one used off of eBay. Another guy that works for me, he waited 2 months to get one from Snap-on, and they're a little heavy, meaning this one is lighter. This one's like 2 ounces heavier. You don't necessarily notice that until you're using it. So when you're banging on a knockdown like this all day, you're going to feel that 2 ounces. So this does the job, but it's just not as heavy. It's a little bit more whippy.
Yeah.
I can smack it a little bit better. It's machined versus these are cast.
Yeah.
So these are machined, and it's got a hickory handle, and I also use it like this. And that is my finishing. And then I have my my starting.
Yeah.
And this hammer, I've been using this. I just got it back from the machining, and this is the only one I have. But kind of put a tester out there to see if guys are interested in it. They are, so I'm going to try to bring it to market hopefully soon.
That's good looking, man. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it might not have the pink handle. Guys are razzing me because it's a pink handle. It's just something it's actually ox blood for the people who are dragging me.
And that's not sissy. That's ox blood, dude.
That's right. It's not leather. This is leather dye. I just dyed it. But we'll have a different color handle for the the guys who don't like it. But
yeah.
So that should be coming out here hopefully soon. And then, like I said, I've got probably 8 other things that are in the oven, as so to speak.
Yeah, man.
That we'll try to have by MTE for sure.
Oh, all right. Cool, man. Yeah, we got I think we got MT in September coming up too. We got Vegas, I think.
Yeah.
Heard a rumor about that.
Yep, I haven't heard anything set in stone about that. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I mean, if it's out there, I'll definitely try.
Yeah.
If A1 was gonna be there, then I definitely will be there. But I guess that's really determines if A1's gonna.
I think that's a haul for them. I don't believe they went to the last 2. I don't know. I don't remember. I know the one I only attended one of them. So
yeah,
that's a haul for them. Bring all those tools there.
What's your opinion about that, man? What's your thoughts on?
I like Vegas MTE. It's fun. You know, anytime we get together. As far as paying, like just me being a booth, you know, a guy that has a booth, I think it's a little bit expensive for, as opposed to paying for Orlando, which is more people and more exposure. But I do want to support it. I split a booth with Matt with Get a Grip. Him and I split a booth that one year I went and just set up something small. It was very, very chill. You know, I just kind of walked around and had fun. I didn't really MT. I'm in Orlando. I'm a little more serious about the Dent Mate booth and stuff. So but I like it. I mean, it's fun. I think the only complaint, like I'm a Vegas guy. I've been several times. I felt like I was kind of trapped at South Point. You know, because I mean, I want to be around my friends. I don't just want to go there and hit the strip and gamble and stuff. I want to hang out with my friends, but it just seemed like we were kind of far away from everything. You know what I mean? So,
do you think it brings in more of the California techs, or do you think that that's a non-issue?
I think that's a non-issue. I really do. I think flights are, you know, I don't think they're super expensive now. I mean, they're not cheap, but they're not, you know, I think everybody is just used to coming to Florida. I think because of being non-hail season, I think a lot more people are going to come. But I mean, I'm glad they're doing it more MTEs. I'm definitely all about supporting it. I thought they were going to have one in Nashville. I thought that was a great idea. I think Nashville's a great town to host it. Now, would that be a smaller one? Yeah, it would definitely be smaller than Orlando. I don't think we'll ever top Orlando as far as attendance and people, but I support it, man. I hope they keep doing it. I hope it's worth it for everybody. I just for me personally with a booth, you know, I can't pay for a full booth for, you know, for Vegas. It just doesn't make sense, you know?
Yeah.
So
did you have a full booth
we've had one every year since 16. Okay. Yeah. And that's because that's worth it, man. That's, you know, you get more people, more exposure and, you know, I'll never miss that trade show. So,
yeah.
How about you? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I'm kind of mixed, man. I don't know that. I mean, this is just my opinion for whatever it's worth. I don't know that our industry needs 2 a year. I think maybe that dilutes either of them or both of them, you know, as far as the technicians that'll show up or the tool companies that'll show up or not.
Yeah.
I don't think our industry is big enough for 2. I think 1 is definitely, you know, just have 1 and just throw everything at it and make it a blowout. That's my opinion. I mean, people have said, should we move it from Orlando to somewhere more centered? Okay, whatever. I mean, if that's what it is, I'm not opposed to that. I don't know that we need 2.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
that's tough for me to attend.
Yeah, I try to go to many micro events as I can, if I can go to them. And or just meet up with friends. I mean, just like when I went to Minnesota, that was more of we went to an NFL game as, you know, just a few Dent guys, and that wasn't really like a tech thing, but we just, you know, I like doing the small meetups. Matt Moore's shop meetup was awesome. What else did I go? Oh, Andy Patrick had one. We had a lot of fun with that, and you know, I like going to those types of things. So. But yeah, having 2 shows is tough. I mean, we all love Las Vegas. We talked about it for years before they did it. We're like, man, what if they did this in Vegas? It'd be cool. And it would be, but I just think that I think Orlando is king. I don't think they'll ever change that. And I think, you know, probably should just maybe stay focused on it. But, you know.
Well, the other thing is you have, you know, hail season is still happening at that time. So technicians aren't sitting around bored.
Yeah,
maybe on the road or just getting off the road and not wanting to get back on the road.
Yeah.
And that's a big chunk of our industry is the hail guys.
I've heard a bunch of people say, man, if it ain't hailing, I'll be there. And I've heard that several times with Vegas. So
yeah.
So well, man, let's tell you what, let's get to the juicy part of the show.
Okay.
Sorry, Matt, I got to put you through this, but it's time for 5 stupid ass questions. This is Jim's favorite part. He gets giddy when it's comes.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. I'm going to ask you some they're not super stupid. They're like, I just kind of randomly pick them. All right, Matt, start with number 1. I'll answer them as well.
Hold on. Are these the same questions for every guest or are they specific to me?
Totally different. Totally different. I just randomly pick them. I have an app I use and it actually selects certain, certain types. So,
yeah.
So your first question is, who is the most famous person you have ever met?
The most famous person I have ever met. Oh, man. So you ever watch professional wrestling?
Oh, yeah. I'm
so
familiar.
Yeah, I mean, that's the NWO or the RWO, right?
That's right. That's where it came
from. Years ago, it was The Animal. Did you used to watch it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you know The Animal?
George the Animal Steel? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, and there was another one who was his partner, or his...
That's 80s, man. You go back to the 80s.
So I met those guys in the mall. They were in town doing an event or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I met those guys in the mall. The other would be some pro skaters that I Mike McGill, the Bones Brigade guys.
Mm-hmm.
I've met some of them. So I never any celebrities really.
Yeah.
Those would be the 2 I would come to mind.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I actually met quite a few. I mean, it just weird places. Fixing a car. I think the most famous guy I ever fixed a car for was Tony Stewart. I did do that because he lives an hour from where I live at, and he actually lives in Columbus, Indiana. Didn't get to meet him, but I did fix his car. My business partner did fix John Cougar Mellencamp's vehicle in Bloomington, Indiana, because we do that area. And the most famous guy that I met Rajon Rondo. He's an NBA player. I don't know if he still plays or not, but he played for the Lakers, Celtics, won a championship with both teams. Met him in Vegas. I was scared to death to talk to him. I saw him working out in the gym, and this was years ago, and I went up to him, and I heard he was an asshole. That's what people said. They're like, oh, he's a jerk. Dude, he was super cool, man. He talked to me and had a good time. And last person, I don't want to keep rambling. I don't even know this guy's name. Sitting at a bar in Vegas, same time period, and I was having a drink, and this guy next to me had blonde hair, and he was kind of a chubby guy. Apparently, he's in this country band called Rascal Flatts, and I had no idea who this guy was.
So the lead singer, then,
yeah, and he was
with the crazy hair,
sitting right next to me, and I had no clue. And he thought it was funny that I didn't know who he was, and I told him I listened to hip hop and rock. He said, "I'm sorry."
I wonder what they think if they're a celebrity and they come across people who don't know who they are. Like, are they like shocked in a good way, or are they shocked in a bad way?
I don't know, man. I don't know if they're insulted or they just maybe it's a breath of fresh air. They're like, oh, this dude don't know me, cool, because they get I'm sure they get hammered. I mean, obviously, A-list celebrities get hammered a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, they constant ducking press and whatever. But this guy was cool. He didn't, we just hung out. I mean, we talked for a little bit, and I still don't know his name, but he was a nice guy. So, Rajon Rondo was different though. That was awkward because I was in the gym and I go, dude, he's working out. Leave him alone. Well, he sat down for a minute and he was with a group of basketball players. The Celtics were there. They were doing like the summer league, and I went over to him and he kind of laughed at me. He was just like, and I said. And I sounded like an idiot when I walked up to him. I was like, yo, Rajon, what's up? I'm Mike. I'm from Louisville, because Rajon's actually from Louisville and Kentucky. And he played ball for the University of Kentucky. And that's why I'm a big fan, because I'm a fan of Kentucky. But I went over to him, and he just stared at me. He was like, hey, man, what's going on? I was like, not much. I'm a big fan. And I didn't get a picture or nothing because I didn't want to be an idiot, make more of an idiot of myself than I did. So,
yeah.
All right, man, let's move on to question 2.
All right.
These are easy. So what's your favorite genre of movies?
So I think, so 2. So I just saw John Wick 4
Did you?
Friday. So I love the run and gun movies, right?
Okay.
Like bit of a gun guy, so I geek out when it comes to that kind of stuff. So definitely that style of movie would probably be my ultimate. But then the second, as I do like some space sci-fi.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
like the Prometheus style of
Mhm.
aliens, of
Yeah.
predators, um, Alien versus Predator.
Yeah. That new
Not
Predator movie was good. I really like Prey. That was pretty awesome.
yes,
I was
yeah,
impressed
yeah,
with that. Yeah.
yeah.
I haven't seen the
Um,
John Wick movie. Is it pretty good? Did you like it?
well, have you seen any of the John Wicks? There's
Okay, you caught
4.
me. I haven't watched any of
So there's 4,
You
man. So
caught
you
me.
gotta. So John Wick 4 just came
Yeah.
out. So
Yeah.
dude, you gotta watch them, man. They're
We
just
had this discussion at the cigar bar that I go to. One guy said, "Man, you want to come watch John Wick 4 with me?" And I'm like, when does John Wick 1 come out?" He said, "What?" He's like, "Well, are you the only person on the planet that watched it?" I said, "Probably." So, but I love movies like that. I don't know why I've never seen it. So,
that movie was just nonstop
mm,
action.
mm,
There's no pause. I have to say, I think I liked John Wick 3 better than 4. Um, but this last one was pretty sick. I mean, you
yeah.
just edge of your seat the whole time, counting ammo. You're like, how this guy ran out of ammo like 45 minutes ago.
Adam Jones is. Let's see. John Wick is definitely go to action.
Yeah.
Me and Dragos haven't seen any of them. All right, Joshua. I guess I'm not the only person.
You guys got to binge them, man. They're really good.
Binge the John Wick movies. I will. I'll do that. I
Totally dude stuff, man. It's
yeah.
just dude movies. That's all that is.
Right. And I love dude
Fighting and
movies.
guns. Yeah.
I'm not gonna have a big long answer. I like everything. I watch horror, I watch action. Hey, throw a romantic comedy in there with the girlfriend. Hey, that's cool. We'll watch that. So I like it all. So I have no
You don't have a
I did
favorite?
I mean, favorite movie. Oh man, I'd have to go so deep. I'm a Star Wars nerd, so I love Star Wars. Geez, man, there's so many of them. I'm more into shows now. Like I really like shows. So I did watch The Last of Us. That was so damn good, man. If you haven't seen that, that's
We
well
are
done.
we're thinking about starting it,
Yeah,
that will be the next thing I probably start for sure.
yeah.
We do
You
that.
will.
We watched the all the Yellowstones in the
Okay.
1883, the 1923, whatever they are. Those are really good.
Hmm.
But I'll probably do the Last of Us next.
It's so the acting in it is amazing. That's what makes it. It's not even the zombies, and they do have some some killer graphics and stuff in it. But the movie, I mean, the show itself is just so good, man. Just the acting in it. But
So let me ask you a
anyway,
question. So
yeah.
I got into Walking Dead years ago
Mhm.
when it first started, and I watched till like season 6, and then I tapped out because it just went to like still going. It's like season 13 now or whatever. Do you think Walking Dead maybe hurt The Last of Us? Like, did it kind of or help it, or did it hurt it, or nothing?
Uh, I mean, I don't think it hurt it at all. I think The Last of Us did great by the casting they did. The guy that plays the Mandalorian, his name is
Yeah,
Pedro. I don't know his last name. He is amazing. That guy can act. Him and the girl in it. I guess I should know their names, but they worked together in Game of Thrones, so they've had some chemistry. And then they brought in quite a few really good actors and actresses into that show. Walking Dead, I'm a huge fan. I love Walking Dead. I did get it. I didn't feel like it finished strong. It
yeah.
definitely had its heyday. Towards the middle, I think was more my favorite time of Walking Dead in the beginning and the middle. But no, I don't think it hurt it. Actually, I think it's going to be The Last of Us. I think it's going to be the next Game of Thrones for HBO. I do. I
Really?
think the next season's going to be even more better than what. So
I was all over Game of Thrones too. I like that a
yeah,
lot, and um, waiting for that to.
yeah. House of Dragons is badass, man. I
Yeah,
love that. I love
yeah,
that shit. So, but anyway,
yeah.
let's move on to question 3. This is a
Yep.
way easier. Question 3: Domino's or Pizza Hut?
I'm gonna go Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut.
Dude, some nostalgia, man, about, I used to go to Pizza Hut. There used to be Pizza Huts all over. You go
That's
sit
right, because
down.
we're the same. I think we're the same age, Matt. When
Yeah.
they had the red tablecloths and white tablecloths and
Yeah, little checkerboard.
Pac-Man
Yes,
video game. Yeah, that was the good old days, man.
that was. So a little nostalgia about that. Couldn't really do that with Domino's.
Yeah. Domino's has improved. I haven't had Pizza Hut in a long time. I eat a lot of Papa John's around here. Papa John's from my hometown here. And
Yeah.
we eat a lot of Papa John's here. And I like the more, I mean, I'm getting way off here, but I like more of the local pizza shops, not really
Yeah.
the franchise places. Those are what I try to go, if I'm going to eat pizza, I want to eat something, not just fast food,
So my
But,
wife's from Chicago. My wife's from
oh,
Chicago, and so if we eat pizza, there's an obvious snootiness to the revolves around eating pizza with her.
oh, I
I mean,
bet.
if you go to Chicago, it's like you can only go here, don't go here. They get really geek out about pizza up there, and so yeah, if we get pizza down here, it's usually a local pizza shop. It's not one of the big chains, unless
Yeah.
we're trying to have a date night. Then it's just hot $5 hot and ready's from Little Caesars and feed it to the kids.
I can't do the Little Caesars, man. I see it, I drive by it, and I'm like, no, man, don't do it.
No,
You're gonna pay
not for me, for the kids.
for the kids. Yeah, kids love it. Oh yeah, kids will eat that up.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's go to question 4. Would you rather be locked in the Big Brother house or the Jersey Shore house? I don't know if you watched either one of those.
So I would say I don't watch any of those, but I would say the Big Brother, because I
Okay.
feel like the Jersey Shore is just a bunch of teenage drama, right?
Well, they're all older now, but yeah.
Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, they I watched I hate to say this. I'm probably gonna get some some bad words said to me, but I did watch Jersey Shore. It entertained me. I laughed my ass off. It was terrible though, but I didn't watch Big Brother. Didn't really check that out. But I did watch Jersey Shore. Would I party with those guys? Hell yeah. Definitely I would do it. But both, I mean, terrible show, but it did entertain me. That's all I'll say about it.
I think Big Brother is just more like Survivor. Like it's
Yeah.
more game show, right? Like it's
Yeah,
really
they're totally
strategic.
different. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yep.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely Big Brother then.
All right, we'll move on from that one.
Yeah.
So last one, question 5, Matt, and we'll get going.
Right.
So what is something that annoys you that your best friend does?
Oh, dude.
Who is your best friend, by the way?
Well, I'm gonna go on to I'm gonna say that is my wife.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So
So this is going to be a touchy question.
dude. Something that annoys me that my best friend does. I'll say it. Okay, so so my kids I have 4 kids.
Okay.
And so 20, 17, 15, and 14.
Oh wow, you got a house full of teenagers.
I got a house full. So 3 of them are in this driving stage, right? Or
Mhm.
either just recently been driving or learning to drive. And so if my wife is in the car and they are driving, she panics, right? Like
Mhm.
anything they do is a panic. Oh my gosh, slow down. you know, um, they could be doing everything perfectly fine. Maybe a little too heavy on the gas, maybe a little too heavy on the brake, or maybe a little too, quick on the turn, something like that, but nothing scary. And she panics and freaks out, and then everybody in the car freaks out because she's freaking out. So yeah, she's a little on edge when the kids are driving, and I get it. She's a mom, she's safety conscious, and doesn't want them to get hurt or us to get hurt or whatever, but that can be a little bit annoying for sure.
Oh, I hear you, man.
Yeah. I stayed safe with that answer. I don't know if you noticed
I
that.
hear. Oh yeah, she probably don't listen to PDR podcast. So
She's watching for sure.
oh okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, sorry, Miss Boyette. Me, like I don't. When I say best friends, like I have so many best. I mean, and my girlfriend obviously is my best friend, and I
Yeah.
group that. But one of my really good friends I grew up with, his name's Brian. And Brian is not in the PDR industry, by the way, but he
Okay.
So I've known this dude since I was 6 years old, and something I noticed when we were older in our 20s that he does that I can't stand. He eats his food. He eats one thing at a time. And I know I apparently I never really thought about it. So picture this. I mean, if you do this, Matt.
I do it.
Okay.
But go ahead. I want to know.
So this is like we went to a restaurant, a bar, and we were eating, and it got a cheeseburger and fries. Brian ate every one of his French fries before he touched that burger. I was like, dude, really? He goes, what? He said something about his taste buds. I don't know. I'm just like, okay.
So
you do this too?
I do that too. I'm very, I'll eat one thing and I'll turn my plate, eat the next thing, turn my plate, eat the next thing. I don't like mixing my foods.
Okay.
Okay. But I will say what you said. I thought you were going to say that he went to French fries first, because that makes sense. Because I feel like, when I eat, if I'm hungry, especially, I go right to the carbs. I go right, man. If it's mashed potatoes, ham, I'm going straight to the mashed potatoes, and I'm just scarfing down the carbs, loading up. So that would make sense that he would go right to the French fries first, because he's probably hungry, going right for those carbs.
I got you. Okay, I never thought about it like that. But I noticed he did that, and I always make fun of him. But he makes fun of me. He's like, "Why you mix all your food together?" I'm like, it goes the same place, dude.
So those type of guys, I'm gonna bet that he might be a little bit OCD as well.
Yeah.
Or clean.
Yep.
And that makes sense, because I mean that goes with that type of personality. We're very segmented, and I'm that way, and we're very segmented in our brain. Like I have to do. I kind of like it when you got a computer open. If you get too many things going, the computer starts slowing down, and so I have to close programs. And so that's probably very much like that, right? You just got this one task, and you get that task out of the way. Next task out of the way.
I see that now. Now, see, you're clearing this up for me. But before, I remember when I first noticed this, I kept looking over it and I'm like, why is he eating one thing at a time? I'm like, that's weird. And then, like, I guess it's a pretty common thing people do. But anyways, that annoys me. But he annoys me anyway. So we've been friends since we were little kids. So
well, he's still your friend, so he must not annoy you.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy. Oh yeah. And he's big, and he also, he's also good, to have around, So
okay, yeah, he's a muscle.
Matt, thanks again for coming on tonight, man. I really appreciate having you on as a guest. Your tools are amazing. I'm a fan. So yeah, man, you can. And guys, if you're interested in any of these tools we talked about, you see it below. It's pdrtool.com. A1 Tools. You guys know A1. So check out their app or go to their website. Order some tools, man. So
please check out my Instagram too. I showcase a lot of the tools on there too, and how I use them, and not as much as I should, but I am pumping them on there on my stories from time to time, and that's kind of where I live and hang out, is Instagram. Do a little bit on Facebook, but Instagram is my jam.
Okay. Well, check out Matt's Instagram, and you'll keep up to date on everything he's got coming out and such and such. So yeah. So a couple shots out, Matt. I want to give a shout out to Joe's Boxing Club in Jeffersonville. I've joined a month ago, and it's kicking my ass, literally. And I have lost 8 pounds. And I want to say thank you, Joe. Thank you, Jessica, and everybody that attends there. Thank you, guys. I almost quit a couple times, but man, I stayed in there. So, and yep. And so also want to give a shout out. I'll just go ahead and do our normal shout outs to realworldpdr.com, the industry's hottest training site. Respect the crowns. And don't forget about dentmatepro.com, your simple solution for invoicing and estimating. And you guys in Australia, don't forget about dentmate.com.au to make your more Aussie dollars. So anyways, check Matt's stuff out, pdrtools.com, A1, Dent Slayer. Matt, anything you want to say before we go?
No, man, I just appreciate you having me. It was very kind of you, and I look forward to meeting Jim at some point in the near future. Hey, he was going to review one of my tools, and that never happened. So maybe I can get a review out of it.
I'll nudge him. He must have got busy.
Yeah. Tell him which one he wants to do, and I'll send him one. But
all right, cool, man.
But yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. We'll see you. RWO for life. Peace.
Later, guys.